Previously on Hunting with Tripler.
This is Unicron. Here is a sweet Canon pickup for $7, and it turns on. It's huge. Sweet. Nintendo Wii for $10. It's got 2 controllers. Yes.
What's happening, folks? Tripler here. My name's Nick, and you thought it was a good idea to buy an abandoned storage unit. Well, I bought one too, and I thought this would be a great video to show you what you're looking for when you're buying an abandoned storage unit and how to get rid of all the junk that's inside of it. So, if you like content like this, please hit that like button, and if you like me at all, or if you just stumbled upon me by accident, maybe you'll become a subscriber. But that's today's episode, and you don't want to miss it.
I collect so many things. Would you like to share this journey with me? I will show you the prizes I got today. So come along with me, come on and join in the chase. Yeah.
So you've decided to buy yourself an abandoned storage unit, or you're looking very closely at an abandoned storage unit. There are a lot of things to consider, and I won't pretend that I can go through all of them. There are a lot of resources that can really guide you in the right direction on what you should be looking for. I think a lot of people like to call it profiling a locker. And if you take a lot of that advice, most of the time you either won't be buying that locker, or if you do, you will be making money. Now, one of the things that goes into buying a storage locker is you just don't see on YouTube all the work that really goes into it. And I tried to, in this particular video, show you guys as much work as I could. A lot of times you just don't see all the boxes getting picked up and moved around and put into the truck and then moved somewhere else. But there are channels I want to point out that do actually, I think, do a fantastic job of itemizing that for you. Global Voodoo is a great reseller channel, and he buys a lot of storage units, and he really goes from progression of A all the way to Z and all the steps you need to take in between. Locker Nuts is also a great, really just a fun channel. They do everything from buying storage units to selling those contents on YouTube auctions as well. And then there's some lockers that are really kind of just fun for YouTube. What the Hales and Treasure Hunting with Jeebus. They're more mainstream type YouTube channels. They're fantastic. I'm not exactly sure how much reselling they actually do, but it's also really fun to see some of the contents of the lockers that they find. But I want to walk you guys through what I saw online before I decided to buy this locker in the first place. I bought my abandoned storage locker on storagetreasures.com. California has a massive amount of storage lockers that they sell online every single day. Again, I won't go into all the things that you need to look for, but I'll show you exactly what I was looking for that made me interested in this particular locker. So I hope that there's a few things that you'll find in this episode that will make it worthwhile and will be educational for you. My channel is all about reselling in the first place, so I thought this video might be interesting for you guys to see just a different way of sourcing inventory. So let's get into what I saw in this particular locker. Anytime you're getting a storage locker for under $100, it definitely feels like a win. And I got this for $80. You know, you can see they had boxes, plastic bags, toys, all sorts of random stuff. As you take a deeper dive into the photos, you can see there's a lot to unpack here. So the first thing that I did is I saw the cover photo. I could see the patio furniture sort of in the back, and that was a strong indicator for me. Those boxes looked pretty junky. In this photo, I could see sort of a pool off to the right here, but that thing I'm circling was kind of a mystery to me. I didn't know what it was yet. The grill, I was like, yeah, that's something I have to junk. There's a better picture of the pool. And then in the back there, I saw those tackling dummies. I also saw the lawnmower there, so that was definitely a win. And this was the photo of the patio furniture that made me really interested. I also saw an AC unit right there up front. So this is what I needed to see in order to say I think there's money to be made, especially at $80 for my final buy price. All right, folks, we are here in the facility, so we're going to open this thing up. Let's check it out and make sure that it's everything that it looked like, at least from the original pictures listed. And if it is, we're good. If it isn't, then we have a problem. Oh my God, did you hear that? almost like there was a trap or something. That was actually really freaky. Okay, now that my heart has started again, we're gonna check this out very carefully. Hold on.
Okay, this is a pool. This is actually a pool that you would set up out in your yard or on the patio somewhere. I see all the parts for the rest of it over here. It looks like a pretty big size pool. I have sold them before. Actually, I think they sell pretty well. I'm gonna put maybe I don't know, I'd say $40 or $50 on that and see if it sells relatively quick locally. A lot of this stuff is gonna sell local, so can't promise anything on that one because it's used, but you just never know. Okay, let's do it this way. I think this will be better. So I'm expecting for something like this, and Frigidaire is a decent brand. If this works, I think I can get 40 bucks locally. The patio set with the chairs, it's actually not a bad set at all. It doesn't have any of the cushions. I don't think that matters, but I'm gonna guess for the the lounge chairs and just the 2 regular chairs, I think I can get close to maybe 100 bucks for those. It's not great to store, but they definitely sell pretty well. This will actually go with it. So this plus the base here, I definitely think now that I might be able to get more than 100 bucks for it. So I'm gonna actually go out on a limb and say 125 to 140 for just the patio set. Another 40 for this Frigidaire. And let's check out these golf clubs. This is definitely, this could be huge, this could be terrible. We'll find out. All right, this is Tour Logic. So this would be a very generic brand. It's a full set, which is nice, but this is, well, you know what? It's got a couple decent clubs in here. It's got a Callaway putter right here. That's nice. And then it's got a Big Bear, an Air Bear driver. That's nice. Let's see what we got here. We got a Top Flight Intimidator. This is not great. So you know what? This might be $40 or $50 in clubs right here. So that's good. I'll take that. Okay, we've got a shop vac, and the shop vac locally is probably, I would say 20 bucks maybe. I think $20 is probably reasonable. There's a lawnmower here, and for that alone, I would guess that I could get, if it works, I don't know, maybe 50 bucks, 60 bucks. That's what I would guess. All right, so this is some kind of old handy cam. We'll take a look at that, but doesn't look like it's anything that desirable. The brand itself doesn't ring any bells, but everything's in here. It's complete. That's kind of cool, and it's got some old Kodachrome 2 film, so perhaps we might get lucky there. So this is kind of cool. All right, let's dig into the mystery bag, and it is, I don't know what that is, but it's not something I want to get into. So we've got this here, Westpac Materials TNT Light. This is taping, and so this is joint compound mix. So, you know, someone may want that locally. We will certainly test the waters and see what we can get, but it could be decent. This, I believe, is going to be the most frustrating thing to end up moving. I don't think it's going to be worth anything, but at the same time, I'm going to take a photo, I'm going to list it, put $20 on it, see if anyone wants to take a bite on it. But that's going to be, I guess, most of it. We'll go check out those 2 boxes before we say it's completely done. Well, the first hit here is an empty Milwaukee heavy duty. I'm going to guess this is for like a Sawzall. And hoping that it's going to be in here somewhere. Random, check the coats, make sure that if it's a decent brand, that's awesome. If it's not, they usually just, that's an Old Navy brand, so I would put that aside and donate that. This is another coat. Let's see, let's check it. Never heard of Miss 60. Okay, whoa! That strikes me as desirable. This Hurley jacket could be something. It looks like it might be a kid's jacket. So, you never know. This could be interesting. Found a few more items that are worth noting. This Fire X. This looks like obviously a smoke alarm, but it also connects via Wi-Fi, so you can actually hook it up. So maybe there is something there. I did check this Bible out to see if there was anything in there. This is nothing, but even still, there is a Bible that sometimes sells. I'll look it up, but I don't think this particular one's worth anything. Books, usually, unless it's kind of a rare, they're not incredibly valuable. This Angel's hat looks pretty cool, so this might fetch maybe $5. This Clippers hat is actually in really great condition, and how well they're doing this year, I actually might be able to get $10 for this. Looks to be in new condition. This Billabong hat, which is kind of a throwback, is kind of nice. It's a bit junky. I don't think I'll get much for this, if anything. And then this Florida Miami Dolphins, this looks like a fitted hat. I'll try to clean this one up because some of these fitted hats can go for a little bit more money, so maybe $10 for that. All right, I'm gonna take you through what it looks like now. So I've taken and placed all of the patio furniture along the wall here, so I'm hoping that's gonna be one of the first sales. It's not a well, it is a filter, but it's also a dispenser. So not sure what that is. I'll have a listing up here of this shop vac. I've got two, I thought I had one. I've got two of these window AC units, two of these bags for football. I've got the lot of golf clubs. I do have two lawn accessories. One's a weed whacker, one's a lawnmower. I have a group of just kind of materials that are left over from a, looks like a drywall job. And then the last piece is the pool. Now, I do actually think this might sell. I looked online, and I think if I put $20 on it, that's gonna go pretty quick. That's trash. That there is trash. This is donations, and we are out of here. So it took me a total of an hour and 15 minutes to do all of that. So to be here, to basically sort everything. Now I'm gonna list it. I'm gonna sit in the car. I'm gonna list everything. I'm gonna go grab some water first. After reviewing everything, I'll put up the listings. I'll put up what I expect to make. It took no time to do this one. It's one load of trash. It's one load to the thrift store. And unfortunately, if I don't sell this stuff within 72 hours, then it's coming back to my warehouse. I really hope to price it accordingly so I can get it out of there. I'm probably gonna make this 3 days long to see if I can actually get all the sales included on this. I'd love to get rid of everything. We'll see. Stay tuned. I was able to list all of those items that were bigger items within less than, I don't know, like 10 minutes. So that went really well. And now let's see if we get some bites. Quick update. 50% of my listings have all had people saying they're gonna buy it for their full asking price. Like I said, it was not much time. This is not how it usually goes, but it's an experiment. We'll see what happens. You never know. There it goes. All right, one item down. That was a nice, quick, easy sale. Guy was super cool. Talked to him for about 5-10 minutes about reselling, and that was that. All right, so these two have just sold. On my way to drop them off. Selling both of them, this one and this one, for $50 to the same guy. That is sweet. All right, there go the two AC units. They're out of here. It is nice to see big items getting out of my possession. I love it. Storage unit has now paid for itself.
That was $50, and the shop vac yesterday was $30. So I'm at 80 bucks, paid for the unit, and now the rest of it, of course, is profit, but we gotta get through it. So I've had lots of interest in all of my listings. So every single listing I've had somebody comment on it, but now I have to get them to come and get the items. And that's the hardest thing about selling locally, especially when you've got a whole bunch of stuff to sell, is you're setting up different times for a whole lot of people. You got to be flexible. That is definitely the downside to selling a lot of stuff locally. The patio set is going to be really what makes this whole thing worth it. And I've had maybe 10 to 15 people comment, hey, is this available? When can we meet? And then people flake. That's just how it goes. So you got to be patient. You've got to have the availability to do some of this stuff. And I with 3 kids and a beautiful wife, yeah, I don't have all the time in the world to do this. So got to pick and choose and hope that the people that I am working with can be flexible as I have to be. So, all right, keep you informed.
Tools, and here was the drywall mud, and there's a couple bags of light compound, joint compound that needs to be mixed. It's in there, you can barely see it. Anyway, this is being sold right now. I'm gonna meet with a guy. It's another 20 bucks.
That brings the unit total up to $155 total. I have a reseller's license, so I paid no tax. I paid $81 was the actual final cost. So $81 was the cost of the unit. I paid a buyer's premium to Storage Treasures, which was, I forget, that was unavoidable. I think that was like 10%, 8%, I don't remember. So let's just call it $90 was my all-in. And at $155, I'm already profiting $65. And that's before I even list any of the items on eBay, which I think there's at least $100 to $150 there. The patio set is definitely a hot item. I'm still getting people pinging me. I'm gonna actually have to bring that home, unfortunately. But that is gonna be an easy $100. So in total, again, just wrapping all this up, I think that my total is going to be about $350 for a $90 investment. It was quite a bit of work. If that number gets above 450, I would say totally worth it. At around 350, not so much. But it was still profitable. We still made money, and the amount of time I've spent it hasn't been that much. Paperwork that I need?
No, that's it. Because you already had this portion, right?
Yep.
This one.
All right, the unit is all cleaned out. Nothing left. Got my deposit back, and we are out of here. Okay, we are now completely cleaned out of the unit, and we have our last little load of items that are going to be back to my house. It's not much. In fact, the only thing that didn't sell was the Crystal Mountain water purifier or water dispenser. The other item that I got some bites on but have not sold yet is the pool, the inflatable pool. Again, used. Can totally understand why someone would not want to take that. So that's about $40 in lost revenue that will end up going to either recycle. The pool I can definitely recycle. In fact, I can recycle the entire thing. The items that are left for pickup is the patio set, which I have a buyer. They're struggling to get a truck to pick the items up. And then I have someone on their way right now to pick up the tackling dummies. So it's gonna end up being, like I mentioned before, we're gonna be at 265, 275 before we even list anything on eBay. So I thought, again, if my profits were north of 450, I would be happy, but I just don't see it happening. So I think this is just, this is an example. I haven't done this in a while. It just took way more trips. If I had a truck, I would have been out of there in one haul. But I don't have a truck. I've got an SUV, and that creates some problems. So we'll do a recap of the experience in the end here and just talk in greater detail about why to do it, why not to do it. But my experience so far was not a bad one. It just wasn't a great one. All right, this item will be gone today. Confirmed the truck. They're coming at 8 p.m.
coming from quite a distance, but this will now be out of my possession. Sweet. Wanted to quickly review the items that I'm going to put up for eBay. This pretty unique Billabong hat. I don't think it's vintage, but it's got a pretty interesting look to it. Colorway is nice. I think the Billabong logo itself with the sort of the pastel colorway is kind of unique. And this pretty awesome Miami Dolphins hat, it's also pretty cool. This is a fitted hat. It's completely new. It's never been used. It is in excellent new condition. So I was able to look up this Miss 60 coat, and I'm not sure if this particular color will be desirable, but they actually sell pretty well. I think there were over 100 comps on eBay, and I'm gonna put maybe $30 or $40 on it and see what happens. But that was a surprise, especially for this brand. Another pair of Vans here. These were more of a burgundy color, and they're in excellent condition. Again, these do have the soles. It actually still has the insert sticker on the size. But for something like this, I would say I could easily make, $15 to $25, somewhere in that range. This Champion jacket, this has got a call out for San Diego County Fair. It's Champion brand, which I hope makes it a little bit more desirable. It's kind of got this distressed look to it. I think I'm gonna put like 25 or 35 bucks on it and see what happens. This is the perfect time to sell something like this. We're going into spring. People want light jackets, things like this. So hoping that will sell fast, but you just never know. Two of these Amazon worker polos. I've got two of the exact same size. I was shocked when I looked them up, and they are going for over $25 on eBay. I couldn't believe it, but that is what they're selling for. And so I'm gonna list it probably at 20 bucks and see if I can sell them both combined. So I'll probably put $35 or $40, maybe even best offer plus shipping. Now this Hurley jacket is a little thicker, a little heavier. This is a size XL for a kid. And it's really nice. It's in beautiful condition. I washed it, and it just happens to have kind of this, sort of winter fleece interior. The unfortunate part is there's a lot of this little flaking, sometimes people look at that and think that like there's something wrong with it, but I just have to take a lint roller and try to get all that out. Anyway, so that might be 20, 25 bucks, hopefully. Pair of Levi's, these Denizen modern bootcut, maybe 10, 15 bucks on eBay. I don't think I can get much more than that. And last is this, what is this? This is this beautiful Giant, designed in Los Angeles, made in China, of course. Kind of a cool little light jacket. This looks very maroon to me. I don't have any idea what to expect on that, but could be a desirable item. Maybe again, another 10, 15 bucks.
All right, guys, so that is a breakdown of everything that I got in this particular storage locker. So what I'd like to do is walk you through my profitability and just give you a true sense of what went into it and what I got out of it. So here is a breakdown of all the items that I've sold locally. A couple of them I haven't, and then I have some eBay items that are listed, only sold one of them, But there are still some good items that are listed up there. And then below, I take you through what my costs are, my fees are, and ultimately what my final profit is. So let's talk about it. First up are all the local items that I had sold. The golf set hasn't sold yet, the shop vac sold, the air conditioners, the building materials, the tackling dummies, the patio set. They all sold locally. The eBay items, I only sold one of those, so there are still items listed. So that expected revenue is $485. My all-in costs for the storage locker was $90. The fees were $30. Shipping is going to be about $40. So my total expenses are $160, with my profit being $325. So was it worth making $325 on this abandoned storage unit based on how much work I had, how many appointments I had to make, and ultimately all the heavy lifting I had to do? And to be honest with you, the answer in this scenario for me is no. I probably wouldn't do that again. Right now, I'm already in the profit, but based on how much money I've made so far and how much money I can expect to make in the future, I'm a little bit disappointed in the overall results. But that doesn't mean it wasn't worth it. It might be worth it to you. I just want to recognize all of what goes into it and to show you that yes, there are other ways to make money out there. It just means that you have to be really careful about what you're buying, especially if you're getting an abandoned storage unit. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this episode. It was definitely different from what I typically do. Again, if you guys like content like this, hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to be a subscriber, I would love that, because we can have a dialogue every single week. And we can talk about random purchases, and I can show you all the random finds I have. You can be along on this journey that I have. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
Okay, so
Next time
you gotta
on
be my age, right?
Hunting with
man,
Tripler.
that was just.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, if you wanted to miss games,
Oh, cool.
so you can take a look
All right, for sure. Nice.
afterwards. So
Like Breath of the Wild is literally maybe the most beautiful game I've ever played in my life. Aid! The Wii is in hand. Yes!